140 years. That was the last time we saw such a big earthquake coming through, and that's Japan. 8.9 on the Richter scale. Very scary scenario that is playing out. Why are commodity prices responding so weirdly today? I mean, we've got gold and platinum doing funny things, and we've also got the oil price coming under significant pressure.
Look, it was a funny week before this, and we had quite big moves in commodity markets thanks to China and the fact that the Chinese 5-year plan apparently is starting to call for less infrastructure investment and a bigger shift to consumer goods. So we already had copper and other commodities down quite sharply. Oil, of course, prior to this morning was following developments in Libya and in particular Saudi Arabia,
yes,
where this was supposed to be the day of rage, and there was going to be mass protests in the streets of Riyadh and so on. That turned out to be a bit of a damp squib. So I think that's probably the more important reason with regard to oil. I mean, this tsunami stuff has just been incredible because it's been so visual, and those pictures of those mud flats moving across the lower lying areas, just incredible. Talk now also of big numbers of people being turned up either missing or trapped or basically dead in some of these northern cities.
I think it caught everyone by surprise, and then the fact that there's also this tsunami that hits, and we've also got other parts of the world coming under pressure because of this. It's absolutely insane what's going on. But I suppose one thing to focus on is the insurance, because they will come under pressure.
Correct.
That said, with all this destruction, one has to rebuild the economy. So surely that should be a benefit down the line. Is that something in the short term or long term?
Yeah, no, that is correct. That's the sort of economic theory of this stuff will suggest. I mean, you see these pictures, just crazy numbers of cars, buildings, and so on. So the short-term insurers will take a big hit in Japan. But as you know, in the insurance business, most of the risks above a certain level are written across and reinsured with the global reinsurers. So we've seen 5% declines from things like General Re, Zurich Re, Munich Re, the big global players in that regard. Although, of course, their business model is set up exactly for this sort of stuff, whether it's an earthquake in Chile or a Hurricane Katrina, these things are in the normal course of events. The economic theory will tell you as well that the normal process of rebuilding and recovery is something that does stimulate the economy, but there's normally a modest net negative. But in the longer run, particularly with countries like Japan, where you've got a high degree of sophistication of the economy, I would expect there to be quite a solid and quick rebound. And some people have even been saying that this could be the catalyst to get Japan going from its kind of very inwardly focused, quiet economy.
So from one of your favorite websites, I found it a very interesting article. Japan announcing Eurozone, that it bought Eurozone
That's that
bonds.
terrible Zero Hedge, the worst website in the world.
Absolutely not. But listen to this, okay? It's interesting analysis. Buying Eurozone bonds.
Right.
Now that
Japanese buying Eurozone bonds in recent weeks.
Exactly. So now that we've got this crisis, what happens? A scramble for liquidity, which means that they could sell out of Eurozone bonds.
Which in the crazy, warped way of zero hedge thinking, Tyler Durden's is, sell-off of sovereign bonds in Europe.
I asked you for your opinion, not for your criticism.
You see, I read it.
Did you read it, even though you said you wouldn't? Okay, fantastic, Paul. Just looking ahead, Eurozone as well, we've got the summit underway, Portugal restructuring debt.
They're going to, the old olive presses in Europe are going to find a way to sort this problem out. There's too much at stake. The centre, which is the, French and German axis, will make sure that whatever is needed is done with regard to the Portuguese, I'm sure. When you say what to expect next week, we'll have to just wait and see. I mean, the US market is now in the green this evening, but it's fairly marginal.
Flat, exactly.
Yeah. We closed in the green, which was fantastic. We were doing some buying early on, looking to take advantage of the slump. But I guess it all depends also on what happens in North Africa. I don't think the Japanese thing, unless there are major secondary shocks or a nuclear power station that starts leaking or something, that are going to cause lasting market damage, if you know what I mean.